2017, and the funny thing was that our pastor wasn't there. He had a bacterial infection in his leg, which they might be operating on tomorrow, and they're even talking about a skin graft, which to me sounds kind of daunting operation, but it is what it is. And Terry was leading worship, and with me and Joppa, so very low-key worship. And I think again this is one of the reasons why we want to get out of that space, is that the sound equipment, it just doesn't work. It has issues with it. The speaker had, or was the opinion that 2016 was a bad year, and I think he made a reference to the elections and stuff like that, and I was tempted to shout out and say that actually no, it's quite the opposite. That actually, from a Christian standpoint, the elections went, I'm not saying that it was perfect, but it could have been a lot worse. And what else? Our friends, or our previous house group had people in it whose daughter was visiting today, or from last night, and I mentioned in the last video, boiler base, and I was tempting her to eat. And they had king prawns, Arctic char, and white fish in it, and blue mussels, and I was kind of egging her on to have a blue mussel. I think she took the shell and then squeezed it a little bit then. Sophia, I think she was showing off a bit, but she then actually ate the blue mussel. And then Elisa still doesn't like them tremendously much, but she'll eat them. And yeah, what do you call it? My prayers and our prayers are with Ari, or our pastor, so that he gets out of the hospital in one piece, and because I think there's a history with this condition within his family, maybe a thing or two to pray. A break in his family. I don't know. So I thought I should give you guys a report what the physiotherapist's tests are. So I'm going to run down them quick, so that I have a recollection of what they do. So first of all, I started at Jorvi. No, sorry. I started at Peijas. And at Peijas their set of tests were different. You had speed walking and you had climbing of stairs. So you climb up stairs, and for me it is easier to actually take two big, because the hardest part for me is my left leg, just getting it up slightly. So it's easier for me to take these kind of bigger leaps. So I'm leaping over steps and stairs. So I think it was a surprise for them that I could actually leap over stairs. And they saw that as a good sign for me that I'm just kind of cheating the illness and not stepping on every single chair step. The horrible thing about this squeezing device is that it doesn't give you any feedback. It's like taking a metal pipe and squeezing it. It just doesn't budge an inch, but still there's a gauge there that then gives you different readings. The initial tests, I think I was pretty much at par with general population. And now that we did tests at Jorvi, which is the new hospital that I'm going, my left hand was 10-20% weaker than the average population. My right hand was at par with the general population. Then there was a dexterity test for my fingers. So they had a bowl with 16 pegs in it, about 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch long, and about 3 millimeters thick. And you pick one of these, put it in a matrix that holds, I think it's 16 holes, 4 by 4. So you fill this matrix up with these pegs as fast as you can. And as soon as you get it filled, you just chuck all of the bits back into the bowl. And when you've done that, you do it with your other hand. And I think my test results on that one, they had not gone down, so pretty much at par. Whereas squeezing had gone down. Those are the kind of sitting down tests that they do. Then you have to put your legs together, and so the ankles are together, and you have your socks on. You can't have your shoes on, and you're blind. I mean, you shut your eyes and then you stand there and see if you can balance yourself. And apparently, some people, they just flop over. You know, that's one of the tests. Then the next test is you put your legs in front of each other like this, and you stand here in the exam. You can have your eyes open for this one. Then you repeat the thing so that your other leg is in front of you. You reverse the order, and then you stand like this. That's one of the tests that they do to see whether you can stand or keep your balance standing like that. Then it's eyes open, you can do any movement you want, but you stand on one foot and you just balance yourself. And I think all of these tests, they last about 30 seconds each. When you've done that, then you do it with your other leg, and it's just standing. And apparently they're looking at the muscles that you can see them when you have your socks on. You can see the muscles actually working, and that indicates whether the nerves actually transmit material to your muscles from your brain. So that I lost it. But anyway, 30 seconds of that, and then the final balancing thing was they have a line on the floor. You do all of these tests standing on the line. I think it makes it somehow psychologically. But basically, you have your legs back, in front of each other, and then you walk. It's like 10 meters or so, but you're supposed to walk backwards, heel to toe, or toe to heel, I guess it would be, all the way to whatever the room size is. So basically that would be the test. Obviously they talk to you along, they interview, what do you do, how do you feel, and you know, I think they're, my experience of all of the neurologists has been that they're indifferent, and they're just kind of telling you what they're dictated to tell you, and there's no, or I haven't felt any humanity. fairly harsh toward you. Whereas the physiotherapists, they're long appointments. They're 1 hour long, and they spend like half an hour just talking to you and asking you how are you, which is very positive compared to these other things. This is a major thing in your life, and to have somebody even having, well, obviously they have some kind of an idea because they see these people with a similar condition that I do. They talk to them a lot. But yeah, that's the tests, and I should get my own measurements to see what my results are. Because, oh yeah, the walking test, that was the last thing. Tests were at par to my last tests, and I even was 10 meters, I walked 10 meters longer in the 30-meter lap. Did I mention that? Yeah, there's a corridor of 30 meters, and you have 6 minutes, you walk as fast as you can back and forth the corridor, and they measure you how long it is. And this year I was 10 meters. I got 10 meters further than last year, so slight improvement. Maybe I was taking it more seriously now. This is wonderful Finnish winter. It was actually reported in the news that the Kaamos, that's what they call the time when the sun doesn't rise at all, it has now ended in, was it Ivalo? That the sun actually came up. So, but this is basically the winter weather, how it looks in Finland. It's pretty much always overcast, and now it's midday, it's already nearly 3, but when I get home from work it's going to be dark, and when I came to work it's dark. But this has been a less than pleasant day, because our, what do you call it, financial inspector called, I don't know what it's called, tilintarkastaja, called and said that you have an open, or one of your partners has taken 28,000 out of the company into his own account without making proper, he hasn't made it known properly towards the accountants, which will, if we don't handle this correctly now, it will lead to a tax audit. And this is something that we haven't kind of forgotten. We've been paying this guy repeatedly during the past year, and said that please do this, and nothing has happened. I mean, Raisa, if you think you're the only one running a kindergarten, you're sadly mistaken. I'm running one too. My difference is that my kids are adults. I'm livid. I'm irate. I'm getting cold. I shall retire indoors. Oh, hoy. The whole day spent trying to manage a situation that was ill handled by people who should have taken care of it properly. And yeah, just complete waste of my time. But what can you say? It's 10 to 5 and I just made it to the post office. So to give our company, or actually I think we have five or four companies. No, 3 or 4 companies that has have this is their PO box, because we don't have a proper office. We used to have one at Physiokatu, which is impossible. So ours is PL36. We have we have 3 letters that are all valid. They belong to us. But then quite often you need to stuff. We get all sorts of weird letters also coming into our post from old companies that have not gone through the trouble of changing their addresses. Cycled again today to work, and it was only -6 or so, but it was scary because the slush it had created grooves out of ice. So then if you're coming down or turning around a corner, then it was horrible when you tires get caught on the groove, and it's kind of taking you in a different direction than you thought that you were going, which led to a couple of hairy situations. But I must say that I have my I trust the winter tires. They really do work fairly well, and they haven't let me down, not once. So there's something to it. And I'm hoping that we have this accounting thing fixed now. Mia has written a summary of the money taken out of the company, and we're labeling is as dividends. We have a certain type of a dividends that it's pretty much like salary, but you don't pay certain government fees. So in that sense, it's slightly cheaper money, but still, it's like salary, but you don't pay all of the tax-like fees. I think it's the pension fund that you don't pay into with that, so you save a bit. Regarding MS, I have the feeling that today
has been a good day. The only thing is that we have this long corridor when you go to work and you need to take corners. It's not like I'm falling over or anything like that, but when I'm walking I need to pay attention when I'm going. I'm feeling that I'm veering off course a little. But hey, sometimes it's more pronounced than, for example, today. It was alright. But yeah, I shall, because I have already bits of it done there, so I shall compile this. Say that Jesus is King of mine, or my King, and your King.